Good evening, everyone. This is Robert. RJL Network presents another exciting edition of Inside Pitch. The 1999 season is on the air. Today's date is May 16th, 99. We are at Veterans Stadium for the first time for a National League East matchup between the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies. The Mets come into this game a record of 21-15 at the moment, 2.5 games back of the Braves in the National League East. The Philadelphia Phillies a record of 15-20. And at the moment, they are in third place in the division, but they're under 500. So right now, the Phillies are just trying to get some wins. So my Mets, the greatest team in baseball history, will face the Phillies tonight. And Section 518, there is a Section 518 in Philadelphia at Veterans Stadium. Matter of fact, there's a Section 518 in every stadium in the major leagues. And so he is here and ready to go. So hopefully we'll have a good matchup between the Mets and the Phils tonight, and should be exciting. John Haverly is first to join us here at Veterans Stadium. The Phillies historically won this game 5-2. They had 10 hits and no errors. The Mets had 8 hits and no errors. But let's see if Inside Pitch can turn that around for Section 518. So without further ado, it is time to get started. An important matchup here in the National League East. As the Mets continue to chase the Braves, Phillies are trying to get a win and stay relevant. Let's see how things will go. Starting pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies tonight is Paul Byrd. 15 wins, 11 losses, a 4.60 ERA in 99. We are at Veterans Stadium. This was a neutral park, actually, in 99, although it did have 185 home runs. Adds 1 to strikeouts and 3 to walks. So we'll see what the vet has tonight. Nothing like playing on turf-covered concrete. Although I think in 99, I think it was a grass field at that. I think they did finally make that field grass. I think they did. I'm not 100% sure. I forget when they actually dumped the AstroTurf. The picture I used for the thumbnail still shows the Veteran Stadium in an older side. I really couldn't find a newer one for the time being, but that'll work for now. It still was Veteran Stadium. Clee baseball fan and Michael Peterson now join us here at Veteran Stadium. So it's time to go to the top of the first. My Mets against the Phillies. Always a good match, always a good rivalry between these two. And let's get started. Leading off for the Mets, right fielder Roger Cedeno, 313 average, 4 homers, 36 RBIs in 99. We're going to use powder blue, white, and red dice. Phillies are the home team. Not a bad crowd here tonight at the Vet. And let's see if my Mets can get a win. Byrd, 4-6 against the switch left. It's a blank. Cedeno, 1-5, and that is a fly ball to right field. And going to get that is going to be Bobby Abreu, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Next up is the second baseman, Edgardo Alfonzo. I think everybody here will admit he was a solid player. 304 average, 27 homers, 108 RBIs in that year. Byrd, 2-3, home run result, but the 15 is high. Alfonzo, 5-6, and that is a grounder to second. Bad pitch by Byrd, but all Alfonso can do is ground it to Marlon Anderson, and he'll toss it over for out number 2. And now here comes the first baseman, John Olerud. Some people think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. You can make an argument. 298 average, 19 homers, 96 RBIs that year. Byrd will go ahead, and it was still turf. Thank you, my good man. Byrd, 1-4. Pitcher result 2 is going to be a blank against the lefty. Olerud, 1-1. He grounds it to second, and once again, Marlon Anderson will get the play. And he'll toss over to first and retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Mets, and we go to the bottom of the first inning. Starting pitcher for the New York Mets, the Bulldog, Orel Hershiser. Definitely in his later years, but not a bad year in 99. 13 wins, 12 losses, a 4.58 ERA that season. definitely not one of his better years, but still very capable at that time. 458 average back actually in that year wasn't too bad with the amount of home runs they were hitting. So let's now go to the bottom of the first. Leading off for the Phillies, center fielder Doug Glanville, 325 average, 11 homers, 73 RBIs, definitely a steady player. Hershiser, 2-4, that's at the park. Veteran Stadium, 5-3, and it's a home run to the opposite field, but that's a 7. It's going to be a high fly ball to right field, and it's going to be Roger Cedeno at the track. He is going to track it down, and he will make the catch. It's going to be out number 1. Next up is the second baseman, Marlon Anderson, 252 average, 5 homers, 54 RBIs. We've seen the Mets already. This is our first look at the Phillies this year. Hershiser, 6-3 against the lefty, blank. Anderson, 4-6, and it's grounded to third. And Robin Ventura will have no problem with that one, and out number 2. And now that will bring up the third baseman, Hall of Famer, Scott Rowland, 268 average, 26 homers, 77 RBIs. You know, to Scott Rowland's credit, I will put Scott Rowland in before I put in Harold Baines. So Scott, I really don't think you're a Hall of Famer. I really don't. But I put him in there before I put in Baines. Hershiser will go ahead and Hershiser will pitch. Hershiser, 6-6, the blank. Rowland, 1-2, powers one into left field, and that's going to be a double. Rowland will go ahead and hit one off a righty, and it'll be a 2-bagger, and he will get to second base. Rowland hits a double to keep the inning going, as XSG2 joins us here at Veterans Stadium. No, David Wright is Hall of Very Good. I cannot put him in the Hall of Fame. As much as I would love to, but no, David Wright is not a Hall of Famer. What destroyed David Wright, as much as I would like, and I know they retired his number, what destroyed David Wright was Citi Field. If the Mets had stayed at Shea Stadium for David Wright's career, Wright would have hit over 500 home runs, and he would be a Hall of Famer. Moving to Citi Field ended his career, unfortunately. Next batter for the Phillies, right fielder Bobby Abreu. This guy could hit. 335 average, 20 homers, 93 RBIs. This guy was a beast. Rolling on at second, and he will stay there. Hershiser, 2-4. That's at the park. Veterans Stadium, 3-6, and it's grounded at the plate. It's grounded at the plate to Mike Piazza, and it's an odd number. I'm going to check for an error. Mike Piazza's error rating is a 7. He will not make an error. Piazza will go ahead and pick that up. He will throw to first to get the out, and that will retire the side. No runs and a hit for the Phillies. No score after 1. Remember, on a grounder or a pop out to the plate, and my rule is, if it's an odd number, I'll check the catcher for an error. If it's an even number, I won't. It was an odd number, so I rolled for the error check and came out no. You mean building Citi Field? Yeah, pretty well. Like I said, Citi Field ended his career because he could not hit the ball out of that park. Remember, Citi Field was really a pitcher's park when it first opened up. It was definitely a pitcher's park. It was not easy to hit the ball out. They had to bring the fences in to increase offense there. We go to the top of the second. Speaking of Piazza, leading off for the Mets, the catcher, Hall of Famer, Mike Piazza. And yes, he is the best hitting catcher in baseball history. 303 average, 40 home runs, 124 RBIs. He is the best hitting catcher in baseball history. Byrd, 5-1, range play at the park. Veterans Stadium, 5-3, and that is a home run to the opposite field. And there's not going to be a range play because that ball just left the yard. Kaboom! That ball is high. That ball is deep. That ball is gone. Home run, Mike Piazza. Stadium groans. Section 518, cheers. Yay! I say Mike Piazza was the best hitting catcher in baseball history, and he does not prove me wrong. Mike Piazza with a bomb. And the next batter will be the third baseman, Robin Ventura, 301 average, 32 homers, 120 RBIs. Not a bad third baseman. Byrd will go ahead and pitch. Byrd, 6-3. That's an automatic out. And it will be a fly to right. Easy play for Bobby Abreu. And he makes the catch. 1 out. Next batter is the center fielder, Brian McRae. 218 average, 12 homers, 48 RBIs. Not one of the Mets' better players. Byrd will deal. Everybody's heard about the Byrd. That's Mark Fidrich. My bad. It's still Mark Byrd. Paul Byrd, 1-6 is a blank. McRae, 6-5, grounded to second base. That'll be handled by Anderson. And Anderson tosses it over for the out, 2 down. And now is the left fielder, Matt Franco, 235 average, 4 homers, 21 RBIs in 99. Byrd will pitch. Byrd, 6-2. That's a walk plus. That'll walk Franco. Franco will draw the base on balls to keep the inning going. And now we'll see the shortstop, Luis Lopez. I think Ordonez had the day off. 212 average, 2 homers, 13 RBIs that year in 99. Franco, not a threat to steal, and he won't do anything. Byrd, 6-5. That's at the park. Veterans Stadium, 6-1. That's grounded to second. That'll be handled by Anderson. And he's going to throw to first to get Lopez and retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, and a walk. A solo bomb by Mike Piazza. It's always good when a Hall of Famer makes a bit. It's always good when a Hall of Famer makes a play. We go to the bottom of the second. Leading off for the Phillies will be the catcher, Mike Lieberthal. 300 average, 31 homers, 96 RBIs. If I remember, Lieberthal didn't suck. Hershiser, 5-1, strikeout, 13 no. Lieberthal, 4-6, and it's a fly to center field. And that will be McRae to get to that. And out number 1. Post Boa, I think so. Next batter is the left fielder, Rob Ducey, 261 average, 8 homers, 33 RBIs that year. The Bulldog, 1-4. Against the lefty, that's a walk plus. It'll be ball 4. So he'll walk Ducey, put the tying run on base. And now the first baseman, Kevin Jordan, 285 average, 4 homers, 51 RBIs in 99. Infield a double play. Strategy roll for Ducey. He stays put. Hershiser, 3-4 against the righty, strikeout. The 9 is high. Jordan, 5-6, and it's a ground ball to second base. It's hit to Alfonso. 2-2-3. Shortstop Lopez pivot 0-1-3, and they will get it. Side retired. 4-6-3 double play. Nothing across except the walk. 1-0 Mets after 2. You're 3 of 4 of Terry Francona in Philadelphia. Yes, exactly. We go to the top of the third. Leading off for the Mets will be the pitcher, Orel Hershiser. Had a 145 average and 3 RBIs in 99. Byrd, 3-1 against the righty, strikeout. And it's a cold strike 3 on Hershiser. Surprised he didn't swing at it. That's going to be an out. That's the first strikeout for Byrd. He had 106 of them in 99. And now Cedeno. Cedeno's 0 for 1. Byrd, they'll go ahead and deal. Yes, Terry Francona is a Hall of Fame manager. Byrd, 6-2. Walk plus ball 4. He will go ahead and walk Cedeno. And it'll bring up Alfonso. Cedeno was a thief. He had 66 steals that year. And that's a 20. Byrd fires the first to get him. And nope, he's called for the balk. Byrd did not come to a complete stop, and they call him for a balk, and Byrd Cedeno will go to second. So that's a balk on Byrd, and now he's at second base. Strategy roll again. Cedeno actually gets the steal sign to go to third, but he'll stay at second with one out. Byrd will pitch. Byrd 1-6 blank. Alfonso 6-1 ground ball to second. Easy pickup for Anderson. Throws to first for the out. Cedeno does go to third. And now here's Olerud. Olerud is 0 for 1. And yes, rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Absolutely. We lost one of the innovators of heavy metal rock. Olerud some people think Olerud belongs in the Hall of Fame. You can make an argument for that. Cedeno on at third. Strategy roll, and Byrd will hold on to it. Byrd will now pitch to Olerud. Byrd 1-2. That's at the park. Olerud 4-1. Base hit center field. Olerud will round first. Cedeno will score. Olerud trying for second. He's mud, actually. Base runner 1. Center fielder Glanville a -1. Olerud sees the ball come in, and he'll go back to first. But the Mets have a 2-0 lead. Section 518 cheers. Yay! RBI single for Olerud. And now the batter is Piazza. Piazza hit a bomb his first time up. Still 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. Mets now have a 2-0 lead. Olerud strategy roll still on, and he'll stay put. Byrd will deal. Byrd 3-6 strikeout. Swing and a miss. Strike out, and the inning is over. Piazza didn't strike out much, but he will strike out there. And that's the second strikeout for Byrd. 1 run on 1 hit, a walk, and a balk. We go to the bottom of the third. Leading off for the Phillies will be the shortstop, Desi Relaford. 242 average, a homer, 626 RBIs. I remember Relaford. He was pretty stable. Hershiser, 3-1. It's a blank. Relaford, 1-6. And Relaford will smack one into left field. That's going to bounce off the wall. That's going to be a double. So Relaford leads off with a 2-bagger. And it will bring up the pitcher, Paul Byrd. He had a 127 average and 4 RBIs in 99. And with that kind of average, an excellent bunter, by the way, too. But I think he's already in scoring position. I think you just swing away here. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 6. Relevant stays put. Hershiser. 3-3. Range play. Byrd. 1-1. It's a fly ball to right field. Roger Cedeno's got to come in and make a play. His range is a 3, and he got it. 1 out. That's a fly out to right. Relaford, base runner 3, hit to right 0. So 0-0. A 1-3. Relaford will take third. He will. Deep enough for Relaford to make it to third base. So Byrd does actually a good job moving the runner over. And now here's Glanville. Glanville's 0 for 1. Infield is going to play in. Relaford on at third, 2-0 Mets. Strategy, nothing on the 16. Hershiser will go ahead and deal. Hershiser, 2-4. That's at the park. Veteran Stadium, 4-4. And that is a ground ball to third. That's a ground ball to third. Desi Relaford's base running rating is a 1. With the infield in, I don't think you send him. I don't think you send him home. I don't think you send him home. I'm going to say no. A base running rating of 1. I think you hold him, and the throw's going to go to first, out number 2. So they're going to hold Relaford. He'll stay at third base. And now there are 2 away. And the batter is Anderson. Anderson's 0 for 1. Strategy roll for Relaford. He stays put. Hershiser trying to get out of the jam. Hershiser will pitch. 2-2. It's a blank. Anderson, 5-1, and it's a ground ball to second base. The Mets will get out of it. Alfonso's got it. Throws to first, and the inning is over. No runs and a hit for the Fightin' Phils. 2-0 Mets after 3. Top of the fourth. And leading off for the NYM will be Robin Ventura, and he's 0 for 1. Byrd will go ahead, settle in. Byrd, 5-4, strikeout, no. Ventura, 2-4. It's flied to center field. Easy play for Glanville. And he's got it for the out, 1 down. Next up is McRae. McRae is 0 for 1. Byrd will pitch. A 1-1, strikeout, 11, swing and a miss, struck him out. That's the third K for Byrd. And 2 away now. And now Franco. Franco walked his first time up. Byrd will pitch. Byrd, 5-6 against the lefty. It's a blank. Franco, 5-2, and Franco hits one deep into right field. It'll split the gap. That'll roll the wall. Franco's going to have a double. He keeps the inning going with a double to right. And now maybe Lopez can bring him in. Lopez is 0 for 1. Franco on at second, and he will stay put. Byrd will go ahead and pitch to Lopez. Byrd, 1-6. It's a blank. Lopez, 2-6. It's a grounder to short. Easy play, pick up by Relaford. He'll take his time, throw it over. And that ends the inning. No runs and a hit for the Mets. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. Scott Rowland leads off for the Phillies. He had a double his first time up. If anything, Scott Rowland, I would put him in over I would at least put Rowland in over Baines, if anything. I would put Rowland in over Baines. That I would at least do. I still don't think he's really a Hall of Famer, but I'll put him in there. But I'll put him in over Baines. Hershiser, 5-2. That's a walk plus. It's ball 4. So Rowland will wind up on base for the second time. And here's Abreu. Abreu grounded at the plate his first time up. Infield double play. Rowland at 12 steals, and he's not getting one here. Hershiser, he will deal. Hershiser, 6-4 against the lefty. That's a walk plus, and now runners at first and second. So now Hershiser walks the first 2 batters of the inning. That's his third walk of the game. Hershiser did have 75 walks in 99. And now the Phillies got something going on. Here's Lieberthal. Lieberthal 0 for 1. Infield still a double play. Strategy roll. And nothing on the 14. Hershiser will go ahead and deal. Hershiser, 6-5 against the righty. Strikeout. That will miss. Lieberthal, 2-1. And it's a ground ball to short. 2-2-3. Second base, pivot Alfonso, +1 is a 4, and they will get the double play. Rowland moves over to third, so that is a 6-4-3 double play for the Mets. And they're now 2 outs. So Rowland does move to third. 6-4-3, now the batter is Ducey. And Ducey has walked his first time up. That is not. Do you think he would be in if he went to the Cardinals earlier? Possibly. Possibly, maybe, but I just. Rowland was I have no problem saying Rowland is very good. To me, I just don't think he's Hall of Fame. I'll tell you who's a Hall of Fame third baseman. Nolan Arenado. That guy is a Hall of Famer. Nobody here, I'm pretty sure, will deny that Nolan Arenado will be a first ballot Hall of Famer when his time comes. Rowland, I just don't think so. Rowland missing too much. His average was And to say Scott Rowland is like up there with Mike Schmidt is an insult to Mike Schmidt. Schmidt, of course, was the best third baseman in baseball history. Strategy roll, and nothing on that is a 1, but Rowland will stay put. Hershiser, 3-1. It's a blank. Ducey, 5-2, and he powers one into left field. That's an 11, and Ducey's going to get the Phillies on the board. Rowland will come in and he will score. Ducey rounding second is going to wind up at third with a triple. And the Phillies are on the board. RBI triple for Ducey. And Hershiser is not going to get out of the inning. It's now 2-1. And we'll now bring in Jordan. Jordan is 0 for 1. And now the tying run at third base. But there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Hershiser, strategy roll, and nothing on the 8th. Ducey on at third. Hershiser will deal. Hershiser, 2-5, range play. Jordan, 4-3. It's a single to center field, but Roger Cedeno gets a chance. His range is a 3, and he will get it and retire the side. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Roger Cedeno makes a run-saving catch, and that will do it. No runs, 1 hit, and a couple of walks. As Roger Cedeno makes a heck of a play in center field, 2-1 after 4. Section 518, cheers. Yay! David Vega joins us here at Veterans Stadium. Quick timeout real quick for guys. Hold on a minute. I got to do a quick timeout. Hold on 1 second here. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, guys. I got to do something real quick because my pen, or I should say my pencil, is out of lead. That's better. We go to the top of the 5th. Mets lead 2-1. And it will be Orel Hershiser leading off for the Mets. And he's 0 for 1. Byrd will go ahead and deal. Byrd, 3-1 against the righty. Strikeout. You got him. And that is the 4th strikeout for Paul Byrd. 1 down. It'll now bring up Cedeno. Cedeno 0 for 1 with a walk. Mets lead 2-1 here, top of the 5th. Byrd, 2-5, error on a grounder. Cedeno, 3-3. That's powered into center. That's a 7, and that's going to be a base hit to center field. Doug Glanville's error rating is a 4, and he will not make an error. He'll get the play and ball. He'll get the ball in. Cedeno gets his first hit of the game. It'll now bring up Alfonso. Alfonso 0 for 2. Infield set for double play. Cedeno, he's a thief and he's going. 16 minus 1 is 15. Lieberthal, a 0 arm. Cedeno on his way. A 1 to 15, he is safe. And he is. Roger Cedeno will steal second base. And that is his first steal of the game. He had 66 stolen bases. He was an absolute thief in 99. Strategy roll, he'll stay at second. Byrd will deal. Byrd, 6-4 against the righty. Strikeout, too high. Alfonso, 3-5. It's a ground ball to short, picked up there by Relaford. Throw goes to first, and Cedeno will get to third. So Cedeno goes to third, but now there are 2 outs, and the batter is Olerud. Olerud 1 for 2 with a single. Big run at third base. Byrd sets it in there. Strategy. That's a 20. Byrd fires to the catcher. The catcher throws to third to try to pick off Cedeno. And no. Cedeno will get back. Now Byrd will go ahead and pitch. Byrd, 4-2. Wild pitch. Yes, it's a wild pitch by Byrd. It goes over Lieberthal's head. Cedeno will score. Mets lead 3-1. Section 518 cheers. Yay! Stadium groans. A wild pitch will bring in Cedeno, and now 3-1. Do I think more runners will steal third base with these new seasons? I don't know. So far, I haven't seen much looking at the 2022, 23, or 24 seasons so much. Olerud will now bat with the bases empty. Now it's a 3-1 Mets lead. Byrd will deal. 4-4. Home run result against the righty. Olerud needs a 12. That's a 7. And that ball just cleared the fence. Kaboom! The ball was pretty high. The ball was pretty deep. And the ball was pretty gone. Home run, John Olerud! Section 518 cheers! Yay! Olerud hits a solo bomb. He had 19 of them in 99. And the Mets now have a 4-1 lead on the Phillies. And now here comes Piazza. Piazza 1 for 2 with a bomb. Best hitting catcher in baseball history. Byrd will go ahead and deal. Byrd 1-3 range play. Piazza 1-1 ground ball to third. The ball is hit to Roland. Roland was excellent. His range is a 5. He'll get that one. Nice play by Roland. Easy play for him. He'll throw to first and retire the side. 2 runs, 2 hits, and a solo bomb by John Olerud. And the Mets now have a 4-1 lead going in the bottom of the 5th. Desi Relaford leads off for the Fightin' Phils. He got a double his first time up. 4-1 Mets. Section 2-1-12 is putting his head down. Hershiser 2-5 range play. Relaford 3-5. That's popped up to short. Luis Lopez going after it. His range is a 2, and that is going to drop in for a hit. That'll be over his head. It'll be a bloop single, and Relaford will have a single hit. Will have a hit. So Relaford goes to first, and now the batter is Byrd. Byrd is 0 for 1, and he's gonna lay in for the bunt. So corner is coming in. Strategy roll first. Relaford will stay put. Hershiser will pitch. Hershiser 3-5. It's a blank. Byrd lays down the bunt. That's a 6. It's bunted right at the plate to the catcher. His bunt rating is a 5. It'll become a 4, but that's a 1. It won't matter. That's going to be a great bunt picked up by Piazza. He'll throw to first to get the out, and Relaford will move to second. So Relaford, so Byrd lays down a nice sacrifice hit at the plate, and all Piazza could do was throw to first to get the out. 1 down. And now here's Glanville. Glanville is 0 for 2. Hershiser, strategy roll, and he stays put. Hershiser, 1-3, possible error. Glanville, 6-2, and that is a ground ball to second base. That ball is hit to Edgardo Alfonso. His error rating is a 2. Wow, that's close. That's a 3. He bobbles it, picks it up, have enough time, throw to first to get the out. 2 down. Relaford moves to third. So 2 men down. When does the bunt rating drop? The bunt rating drops against the player who's in. Against the player who's in. So a bunt rating, okay, the hitter bunt rating, the catcher would have been a -2, actually. So Byrd's bunt rating went from a 5 to a 3. But I rolled a 1. It's an automatic. A 1 is automatically always going to be a good bunt. Automatically will always be a good bunt. But now 2 outs. Relaford on at third. Here's Anderson. Anderson 0 for 2. 4-1 Mets. Section 518 would like to keep it that way. Strategy, nothing on the 15. The Bulldog, 1-2. Home run chance. 18 is high. Anderson, 3-5, and he grounds it right back to Hershiser. Hershiser will get that, throw to first, and retire the side. No runs and a hit for the Phillies, and Hershiser is pitching really like it's 1988 instead of 1999. And after 5, it's still 4-1 in favor of the Metropolitans. Top of the 6th, and it will be Robin Ventura leading off for the Mets. He's 0-2. Byrd will go ahead and Byrd will pitch. Byrd, 3-5. Walk plus ball 4. Ventura will trot to first on a walk, and that is the 3rd walk issued by Byrd. He had 68 of them in 99. And now McRae. McRae is 0-2. Infield double play. Ventura not a stealing threat. He's not going anywhere. Byrd will pitch. Byrd, 3-6. Strikeout. Got him. He'll go ahead and get McRae, and that is his 5th. And here's Franco. Franco 1-for-1, a double and a walk. Ventura staying on it first. They'll stay put. Byrd will deal. Byrd, 4-5, and strikeout 16. That'll be too high. Franco, 5-2, and Franco smashes one, and that's going to go to the wall, and that's going to be a double for Franco. Will it score Ventura? Base runner 3, double to right, -4. No, Ventura will have to hold at 3rd. But Franco hits his 2nd double of the game. 2 doubles for Franco, but because of a very good arm by Bobby Abreu, he'll go ahead and throw it in, and Ventura has to hold. And now the batter is Lopez. Infield is in. 1 out, 4-1 Mets. The Mets are looking for more. Strategy. That's a 1, nothing happening. Byrd will pitch to Lopez. Section 518 takes a sip of his beer. Byrd will pitch. 6-6, it's a blank. Lopez, 3-1, and it's a fly ball to right field. That's going to get caught by Abreu. That is out number 2. Lopez, sacrifice fly of 1. Hit the right, +1 is a 2, and it will not bring in Ventura that way. Ventura, base runner 3. Abreu a -2. Ventura needs a 1 to score, and it's a 6. Here comes the throw by Abreu. He had an excellent arm. It's a -2 arm. It's an automatic play at the plate. A 2-5. Ventura is out. And he is. What a throw by Bobby Abreu. He gets Ventura at the plate, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit. And a big put out by Bobby Abreu gets Ventura at the plate. With a -2 arm, it's an automatic play. And it stays 4-1 going in the bottom of the 6th. Leading off for the Phillies is Scott Rowland. Rowland 1-for-1. Doubled and walked. Big play by Bobby Abreu. Did that maybe help the Phillies at all here? Hershiser will pitch. Hershiser, 3-6, range play at the park. Veteran Stadium, 3-2, and it's a blank. We're going to have a rare play instead. So rare play, base is empty. Range play at the park. I got the chart over here. And that's a 52. Ball off plate down 3rd base line, which catcher fields. Resolve is a range play for the catcher. That's Piazza. His range is a 3. And he's got it. Piazza will make the play. And he is going to, let's see if there's anything else. If successful infielding ball, check. If successful infielding ball, check catcher for 1 base error on the throw. So he makes the play. Now I have to roll to see if he makes an error. And Piazza's error rating is a 7. And he will make an error, and that's going to be if successful, check for one base error on a throw. If failed, range check, batter gets single. So Roland's going to get a base hit anyway. He picked it up, but it was a bad throw by Piazza, and that's how I'm reading this here. So successful in fielding ball, which it was, check catcher for one base error on the throw. If failed, range check, batter gets single. And a one base error on throw. So that means actually Roland is on second. So that's going to be a single and an E2. That's how I'm going to read that. First error on the Mets. They didn't have any errors in the game historically. So that's how it's going to go. So it's a one base error on a throw. There was a throwing error. So actually it was an error on a throw, and it's an automatic extra base on that kind of error. So Roland goes to second on a single and an error, and now the batter is Abreu, and Hershiser cannot believe Piazza made that mistake. As I said, Mike Piazza, best hitting catcher in baseball history. Fielding catcher? Strategy roll for Roland. He will stay put. Hershiser, 5-4. Pitcher result at 16. That's going to be against the lefty. It's an automatic out. And it will be a grounder to short. Picked up there by Lopez. Throw goes to first. And Roland has excellent speed. He'll make third. So ground out to short. But one out now, and here's Lieberthal with a runner at second. Mets are going to play the infield back. Roland, they're going to try to get the out here. Playing in doesn't really matter here with a 4-1 lead. So 4-1, Lieberthal the batter. He's 0 for 2. Strategy roll, nothing on the 6. Roland stays put. Hershiser will deal. Hershiser, 2-3. Wild pitch. No, it's a blank. Lieberthal, 3-3. It's a base hit, and Roland will score anyway. Lieberthal hits one past second. It's now 4-2. So the error definitely hurts. RBI single for Lieberthal. And the batter now is Ducey. Ducey got a triple his last time up. He's 1 for 1, a triple and a walk. Infield back to double play. Now 4-2 Mets. Strategy roll for Lieberthal. He'll stay put. Hershiser, he'll pitch. Hershiser, 6-5. Strikeout against the lefty. It's a blank. Ducey, 2-5. And it's a fly to center field. And that'll be McRae getting to that. And that is out number 2. Next batter is Jordan. Hershiser is tired, he says, but he is due to lead off the 7th. He says, let me do it, coach. Hershiser will pitch to Jordan. Jordan is 0 for 2. Strategy roll, nothing on the 9. Hershiser will deal. Hershiser, 2-5, range play. Jordan, 1-2. It's a fly ball to right field. That's going to Cedeno. Cedeno's range is a 3, and he will get it and retire the side. What a play by Roger Cedeno. He has been doing great in right field. 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error. And the Phillies are down 4-2 after 6. Section 518, cheers. Yay! We go to the 7th inning. Byrd can pitch to one more batter before he tires. And we're going to see a pinch hitter for Orel Hershiser. He is done, and he's going to leave with the W. And the Mets are going to the bench. And let's see who they're going to bring on to bat. And they don't have any right-handers in the book. No, they don't. So coming on to pinch hit for the Mets is going to be Ray Ordonez. 258 average, a homer, 60 RBIs. He has the most at bats. So Ray Ordonez will go up against Byrd here to start the top of the 7th. Byrd will pitch. Byrd, 6-5. That's at the park. Veteran Stadium, 1-1. It's a blank, another rare play. This time it's rare play it's a regular rare play at the park. 35, grounded to short, who throws up the line. Resolve his error play to first base. First baseman is Jordan. His error rating is a 0. There's not going to be an error. So it's not going to be an error. That means that Brian Jordan is going to tag out Ordonez. That's going to be out number 1. So let's see. So 35 grounded to shorts. That's just going to go as a G6. But Kevin Jordan is going to go ahead and not make an error when he tags him. So that's going to be, he is out, and there's out number 1. Here's Cedeno. Cedeno is 1 for 2, singled, walked, but scored 2 runs. Byrd is now tired. He is due to bat second. They're going to see if they can get Byrd to complete the inning. Byrd will pitch. Byrd, 4-5, and that's a walk chance. He's tired, and it could become a home run against a righty. Cedeno needs a 10. That's a 20. It's too high. Now I roll for a home run chance. But Cedeno, the only way he gets a home run is a 1. No. Cedeno, 1-3. He does hit a fly ball to right field. That's going to be caught by Abreu for out number 2, but that's going to be it for Byrd. He is done. So Byrd will leave the game. The Phillies will have to go to the bullpen. And let's see. Let's see who they're going to bring on here. Cedeno was out. And now here's Alfonso. Alfonso was 0 for 3. And the question is here, the Phillies, do you just want to bring in a short reliever? You want to maybe bring in, well, most of these pitchers really are short relievers. Pretty much the late 90s, early 2000s when they started using relievers not as long as they used to. I'm just going to bring in one relief pitcher. You're trying just to get one out. And Alfonso, they don't have any. They do have a lefty, and he only pitched. They're going to bring him in. Coming on to pitch for the Phillies is going to be Jim Poole. His job is to get one out. 2 wins, a loss, a save, a 4.71 ERA. Byrd leaves with the L. So Jim Poole is going to try to get one out here, even though it's lefty on righty, but Alfonso has issues with left-handed pitching. 4-2 here. Jim Poole will now pitch for the Phillies. Poole will deal. 5-1. Wild pitch. It's a blank. Alfonso. 5-5. And it's a hard line drive right to second, right to Anderson. Pop. Inning over. So we'll line out the second and a 1-2-3 inning for the Mets. Nice job there by Poole to get the quick out. We are at the 7th inning stretch. Sing, take me out to the ball game. I'll be right back. Don't forget, we've got 10-minute ticker coming up after tonight's game. I don't know where Chuck Rawlings is, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to miss tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we will be at the Sky Dome And the Detroit Tigers will receive their 1983 championship rings from the network, as the Detroit Tigers will take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Brian Moeller will be going for the Tigers, and David Wells will be going for the Blue Jays. It's our first, we've seen the Blue Jays before, but not the Tigers, as the Tigers finally get their rings for the 1983 Inside Pitch season here on the network. Tigers and Toronto, that will be tomorrow night on Inside Pitch. Bottom of the seventh here, Mets lead the Phillies 4-2. And Desi Relaford leads off for the Phillies. And he's 2 for 2. He's got a single and a double. Mets need a pitcher. And let's see who they're going to bring on. And they're going to go with Turk Wendell. 5 wins, 4 losses, 3 saves, a 3.05 ERA. Turk Wendell was absolutely an absolute workhorse in 99. He appeared in 80. He appeared in half of the Mets games that year. So Turk Wendell will come on to pitch, and he'll go up against Desi Relaford. Bottom of the seventh, 4-2 Mets. Wendell, 5-4 against the switch left. Blank. Relaford, 5-5, and that's flied to center field. And McRae will get to that and put it away, out number 1. Pinch hitter coming in for Jim Poole. And the Phillies will go to the bench, and they're going to bring out Rico Brogna. If that's not a baseball name, I don't know what is. 278 average, 24 homers, 102 RBIs in 99. Rico Brogna. Yeah, absolute one of the best baseball names ever. Wendell will go ahead and pitch. Wendell, 4-5. It's a blank. Brogna, 6-4, and it's flied to left. That's going to be caught by Franco, and he's got it for out number 2. Top of the order, here's Glanville. Glanville's 0 for 3. Met pitching has done a good job so far in this game. Wendell will deal. Wendell, 4-3, error on a grounder. Glanville, 3-1. Nope, that's going to be a fly ball to right field, and that's going to be Cedeno getting to that. And he will make the catch and retire the side. 1-2-3, go the Phils. Nets still have a 4-2 lead after 7. We go to the 8th. Leading off for the Mets is John Olerud. Olerud, 2 for 3 tonight, a single and a bomb. Phillies need a pitcher. And let's see what they're going to bring on. And coming on to pitch for the Phillies is going to be, let's see, left, right, left. Coming on to pitch for the Phillies is going to be Yorkis Perez. 3 wins, a loss, no saves, a 3.94 ERA. Perez can pitch to 4, so he will come on to pitch. So here's Yorkis Perez. He'll go up against Olerud to start the top of the 8th. 4-2 Mets. Perez will pitch. 6-6, strikeout, no. Olerud, 1-3, and it's a ground ball to third, easily played by Roland. And Roland's got it over to first, 1 down. Here's Piazza. Piazza, 1 for 3 with a bomb. Perez will deal. Perez, 6-6, strikeout. Nope, that's high. Piazza, 2-3, and it's grounded to third again. Roland again will make another put out. And he's busied in this inning, 2 down. And here's Ventura. Ventura 0 for 2 with a walk. Perez will go ahead and deal. Perez, 4-3. That's a blank. Ventura, 4-4. And it's a base hit. He hits that one into left. And Ventura will keep the inning going for at least one more batter. And it brings up McRae, and he is 0 for 3. Strategy rolls are still on, although Ventura really not a threat to do anything, and he's not. Perez will go ahead and pitch. Perez, 1-2. Walk plus, yes, ball 4. So Perez now walks McRae after getting 2 quick outs. Now a walk, and now the batter is Franco. Franco is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and a walk. Perez is now tired, but he's going to pitch to Franco, lefty on lefty. They're going to let Perez pitch to Franco here. Runners at first and second for the Mets. Perez gets in there and settles in. Lieberthal gives him the call. Strategy roll, and nothing on the 16. Perez looking in at Franco. Here comes the pitch. Perez, 6'5", range play at the park. Veterans Stadium, 5-6. It's a ground ball to first. That ball is hit to Jordan. Jordan was pretty good. His range is a 4, and he can't get it. And that's going to hit. That's going to be a base hit. It'll be a single pass first. With 2 outs, Bryman Ventura, base runner 4. He will come around and he will score. McRae with 2 outs. He will barely make it to third. Franco hits it down the line. It's 5-2 Mets. 6 and 5-1-8. Cheers. Yay! Stadium groans. Matt Franco 3 for 3 as he gets a big-time RBI single. The batter now is Lopez, and that'll be it for Perez, as he unfortunately got 2 quick outs, and then that was it. So the Phillies will go back to the bullpen again, and they're going to bring out... Philly bullpen is... Coming on to pitch for the Phillies is going to be Robert Persson. 10 wins, 7 losses, 2 saves, a 4.68 ERA. Persson is going to be the 4th Philly pitcher, and he will pitch to Lopez. So Robert Persson will pitch to Lopez now, 5-2. Strategy rolls are off. Persson, 6'3", walk plus ball 4. So he comes on, and the first thing he does is walk a batter, and now the bases are loaded. And now the next batter is Turk Wendell, but they're going to bring him back, and the Mets are going to go to the bench with bases loaded. And coming on to pinch hit is going to be Benny Agbiani. 286 average, 14 bombs, 42 RBIs. Benny Agbiani, he was a solid player. He was very solid. You can count on him for a lot. Bases loaded for the Mets. A chance to blow the game wide open. Robert Persson will pitch to Agbiani. McRae, Franco, Lopez, bases full of Metropolitans. Fans here at the vet hoping Persson can make a good pitch. Persson will pitch. 1-1. Home run chance. But the 7 is going to be too high. Agbiani, 6'5", but Agbiani's still going to come through, and he hits one into right field, and that's going to be a double. McRae will score. Franco will score. Double to right, Lopez, BR4. Double to right, -4. He will hold at third. Agbiani on at second. It's 7-2 Mets. 6 and 5-1-8. Cheers. Yay! Stadium groans. 2 RBI double for Benny and the Mets. And Benny Agbiani comes through with a big-time double, and it's now 7-2 in favor of the Mets. And now the batter is Cedeno. Cedeno 1 for 3, single and a walk. Something tells me if this Mets team does get the playoffs, this could be the team that finally wins a playoff series. Out of all the seasons I've done and all the times the Mets have made the postseason, they have never won a playoff series on my board. Persson will pitch. Persson, 3-3, strikeout. And no, that's too high. Cedeno, 4-3, and against the righty, it's a fly ball to center field. And Glanville's going to get to it. He'll make the catch and retire the side. 3 runs, 3 hits, and a couple of walks. The Mets now have a commanding 7-2 lead. Benny and the Mets. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Marlon Anderson is the batter for the Phillies. Mets need a pitcher. And let's see. They got a couple of lefties coming up. Coming on to pitch for the Mets is going to be Dennis Cook. 10 wins, 5 losses, 3 saves, a 3.86 ERA. And he's going to come on to pitch for the Mets. And Marlon Anderson will lead off. 7-2 in favor of my Mets. Cook can pitch to 4 batters. Cook, 4-1 against the lefty. It's a blank. Anderson, 5-3, and it's a fly ball to right field. Pretty deep, but Cedeno will get to it. And that's the first out. Next up is Roland. Roland is 2 for 2, 2 doubles, scored twice and a walk. Cook will pitch. Cook, 6-3, hit by pitch. No. Roland, 1-5, and it's grounded to short. That'll be a play for Lopez. And he'll toss it over for the out, 2 down. And here comes Abreu. Abreu is 0 for 2 with a walk. Cook settles in. He'll pitch. Cook, 1-3. That is an automatic out. And it will be a fly ball to right field. Cedeno's been busy tonight. Made some good range plays, too. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Dennis Cook. Wow. I go ahead and bring in Benny Agbayani to pinch hit, gets a couple of RBIs. I bring in Dennis Cook, and I get an 1-2-3 inning. You just don't see managing like this on that other channel with the fluffy cat. 7-2 Mets after 8. We go to the top of the 9th. Edgardo Alfonso leads off for the Mets. He's 0 for 4. He's looking for a hit. Person is going to... Is he going to stay on? He has 5-run lead. Yeah, he probably would stay on the mound. Yeah, they'll leave him on the mound. Person will pitch. Person, 5-5. That's a pitcher result. And that 17 is going to be against the righty. It's a blank. Alfonso, 3-4. And it's grounded to short. Easily played by Relaford. And that's the first out. Next batter is Olerud. Olerud had a good night tonight. 2 for 4, a single and a bomb. Person will pitch. Person, 4-4. Strikeout, no. Olerud, a 2-6, and that's another ground ball to short. Another easy play for Relaford. He'll throw it over, out number 2. And now Piazza. Person is tired. They'll let him pitch. Piazza 1 for 4, but that one was a bomb. Person will go ahead and pitch to Piazza. Person, 5-3. And that's going to be a base hit right past the pitcher. He is tired, and that's going to be a single. So Person hits that one past the pitcher. Well, Person actually allows a hit, and that's a single for Piazza. It'll now bring in Ventura, and that's it for Person. He will come out. So the Phillies will go ahead and bring in another pitcher to pitch to Ventura. And as I said, the Philly bullpen is... The 99 Phillies were not that great. Who's going to pitch here? He had 22 appearances. Coming on to pitch for the Phillies is going to be Mike Grace. 1 win, 4 losses, no saves, a 7.69 ERA. He had 22 appearances. Pretty much thinking he was really a mop-up pitcher, which is pretty much what this is. So Piazza on it first. Ventura will go up against him. Ventura's 1 for 3, a single and a walk. Grace will pitch. Grace, 6-4, walk plus, and yeah, he walked him, ball 4. So Grace will walk Ventura. So now runners at first and second. Grace had 30 walks in 99. Here's McRae. McRae is 0 for 3 with a walk. Brian B. joins us here at Veterans Stadium, who's missed all the action. Piazza on at second, Ventura on at first, and Grace will pitch to McRae. Grace, 3-2, that's at the park. Veterans Stadium, 5-1, and that's powered into right field. That's a 10, and a possible home run against a righty. McRae needs an 11, and he will know. Wow, that's just going to stay, just got under it. And right fielder Abreu is going after that. He will make the catch and retire the side. McRae has an 11. That's a 12. Just missed it. And it goes a fly out the right, inning over. No runs, a hit, and a walk. Mets have a 7-2 lead. But will we see some ninth inning magic? Section 518 does not want to see any ninth inning magic. Dennis Cook can pitch to one more batter before he tires. Mike Lieberthal leads off. Lieberthal actually hits lefties better. Mets are going to make a pitching change. Lieberthal is 1 for 3. So let's see the Mets. It's not a save situation. And you know what? I think somebody wanted me to bring him in to pitch one game, and we're going to do just that. Coming on to pitch for the Mets, the father of the Super Bowl champion, Patrick Mahomes. Here's Pat Mahomes. 8 wins, no losses, a 3.68 ERA in 99. Patrick Mahomes' dad is making an appearance. So Pat Mahomes will pitch for the Mets here with a 5-run lead. 7-2 Mets. Lieberthal will bat. Mahomes will pitch. Mahomes, 5-6, strikeout plus 10, and swing and a miss, struck him out, he got him. Lieberthal goes down, it's out number 1. Mahomes at 51 strikeouts in 99. And now Ducey. Ducey 1 for 3, 1 for 2, a triple and a walk. And Mahomes will pitch. Mahomes, 5-5, possible error. Ducey, 4-2, and that's going to be an infield single. That ball is hit to Edgardo Alfonso. His error rating is a 2. That's a 2. He's going to throw the ball wide, and Ducey goes to second. That's going to be an error on a throw. So a single and an E4. This time Alfonso does make an error, and that's the second error on the Mets. So Ducey winds up at second on a single and an error. And now here's Jordan. Chuck Rawlings joins us here at Veterans Stadium. Yes, you don't see fathers of Super Bowl quarterbacks on the Tabby channel. Ducey on at second. 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Mets lead 7-2. Mahomes trying to end the game. Mahomes will pitch. Mahomes, 2-6, walk plus, ball 4. And now the Phillies got something going on. That's a walk. And now the batter is Relaford. And let's see. They're going to make, well, Relaford's a switch hitter. Mahomes does a little better against righties. Alex Arias is a better hitter here, but he's a righty. But he can give up the home run. Desi Relaford coming out of the game and coming on to pinch hit and take over at shortstop for the Phillies will be Alex Arias. 303 average, 4 homers, 48 RBIs. So we're going to see a new shortstop if this game goes any further. Arias is a 2.3 -1. Not that good a range. He will come up to bat. So Alex Arias will go up against Mahomes. Still one out here, but now runners at first and second. Infield a double play. Pat Mahomes trying to get the inning done for Section 518. Strategy rolls are off. Mahomes will pitch. Mahomes, 4-4, strikeout plus. No, he just missed. 5 plus 1 is 6, makes it a 16. That's a 17. Area 6-1, but it's a fly ball to center field. And that's going to be caught by McCray for out number 2. Ducey, I don't really think he would try to go to third. With down, see, 2 -1. Sit to center is a -1. McCray is a +2. A 1-3, he'd get to third, but in this situation, I really don't think he would try it. I think he holds and sticks out number 2. I'm going to hold him. I'm going to make that call. So Alex Arias flies out to center. Now we'll see a pinch hitter for Grace. So now the Phillies will bring on another batter. And coming on to bat for the Phillies is going to be Ron Gant. 260 average, 17 homers, 77 RBIs. Ron Gant, of course, ex-Braves. Ducey on at second. Jordan on at first. Pat Mahomes trying to close the deal. This is not with runners 1, 2, 3. This actually would be a save situation, but I'm not going to call that. So Pat Mahomes trying to get a hold. Fans here at Veterans Stadium hoping for a good hit. Ducey on second. Jordan at first. Gant at the plate. Mahomes will pitch. 3-5. That's a blank. He's not tired. Gant. 2-2. It's a ground ball to short. That'll get handled by Lopez. He picks it up. Pumps once. Pumps twice. Throws to second. That's your game. The Mets will go ahead and get the victory tonight as they beat the Phillies 7-2. Section 518 cheers. Yay! Stadium groans. No runs, 1 hit, and an error. But it will be the Mets that will go ahead and get the win tonight, 7-2, in a game they historically lost. So the Mets will get the win, and it'll be a big victory for them tonight. Final line score coming up. For the Mets, 7 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. For the Phillies, 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher is Orel Hershiser. He'll go ahead and get the win. Phillies will take the loss, will go to Paul Byrd. Turk Wendell's going to get a hold, and you know what? Since the tying run was in the hole, I'm going to give Pat Mahomes the save anyway. So a victory there for the Mets as they beat the Phillies tonight. We're not done. 10-minute ticker is next as K-Fan joins us here at Veterans Stadium. So Section 518 will have himself a beer in honor of the Met victory. Robert LaFlamme joins us here at Veterans Stadium. Well, I know. Well, actually, the rule is if the tying run is in the hole, it's supposed to be a save. So this is my world, not yours. Although I remember, I don't keep stats anyway for the. I don't keep regular season stats anyway. You can't create your own save. I just did. Remember, Baseball Demo says play the game you want the way you choose to play it. And that's how I'm going to play it. It is now time for the 10-minute ticker brought to you by FastScore Baseball. So a 7-2 victory for the Mets. Let's see how the rest of the majors goes tonight. May 16th, Tampa Bay and Anaheim. Devil Rays 1062, that is 8. Angels 613, that is 1. And that's a win for the Rays. Cleveland at Detroit. Indians 1655, and that is 9. Tigers 1115, and that is 2. That's a win for the That's a win for the Indians. White Sox at the Yankees. White Sox 622, that's 2. Yankees 916, that is 2, and they're going to extras. White Sox roll a 4, plus 2 is 6. Yankees roll a 6, minus 1 is 5. That's going to be a win for the White Sox. Minnesota at Oakland. Twins 936, that is 5. Athletics 744, and that is also 5. And they're going to extras also. Minnesota rolls a 5, plus 0. Oakland rolls a 6, and plus 0. That will be a win for the Athletics. Kansas City at Seattle. Royals 842, and that's 5. Mariners 2032, and that's 6. It's a win for the M's. Baltimore at Texas. Orioles 926, that's 4. Rangers 1231, and that's also 4. And they're going to extras, another extra inning game. Orioles roll a 1, minus 4 is negative 1. Rangers roll a 5, plus 2 is 7. That's a win for Texas. Boston at Toronto. Red Sox 1232, that's 5. Blue Jays 964, that's 9, a win for the Jays. Colorado at Arizona. Rockies 741, that is 4. Diamondbacks 1464 and 10. Win for them. Braves and the Cubs. Let's see if the Braves can lose a game. Go Cubs. Atlanta 1341, and that is 6. Cubs 131, and that's 2. And my Mets can't gain a game on the Braves. Padres and the Reds. Padres 656, and that's 6. Reds 956, that is 7. That game belongs to the Reds. Giants and the Astros. Giants 1126, that's 4. Astros 861, that's 7. This Astro team could be very interesting in the playoffs if they get there, which I think they will. Marlins and the Brewers. Marlins 626, and that is 3. Brewers 1051, 6. Win for the Brew Crew. Expos and the Pirates. Expos 1044, 6 runs. Pirates 1034, 4 runs. The Expos will get the win. Dodgers and the Cardinals. Dodgers 1226, and that is 4. Cardinals 733, and that is also 4, and they're going to extras. Dodgers roll a 5, minus 2 is 3. Cardinals roll a 1, minus 1 is 0. That will be a win for the Dodgers. On to May 17th, Cleveland and the White Sox. Indians 1952 and 9 runs. White Sox 643, 4 runs. Win for the Indians. Big series out there, actually, in the American League Central. Minnesota at Seattle. Twins 1944, 8 runs. Mariners 913, 2 runs. Twins get the win. Tampa Bay at Texas. Big series. Rays 915, that's 2. Rangers 1225, that's 4. That's a win for the Rangers. Boston at Toronto. Red Sox 945 and 5 runs. Blue Jays 1214, 2 runs. Red Sox get a win. Pirates and the Braves. Pirates 154, 4 runs. Braves 725, 3 runs, and the Pirates raise the Jolly Roger. Reds and the Rockies. Reds 1851, and that's 8. Rockies 726-3, and that game belongs to the Reds. Cubs and the Marlins. Cubs 711, that's 0. Marlins 856-7. A win for the Fish. Phillies and the Expos. Phillies 1123, 3 runs. Expos 322 and 2 runs. That's a win for the Phils. Brewers and the Mets. Can my Mets get a win? Brewers 1043, and that is 5. Mets 1224, and that is 4. The Brewers will get that win. Diamondbacks and the Giants. D-backs 1223, 4 runs. Giants 851, 6 runs. A win for the G-men. On to May 18th, Section 518 birthday. Anaheim at Baltimore. Angels 254, and that's 5. Orioles 953, and that's 6. A win for the O's. Yankees at the Red Sox. Yankees 152, and that's 4. Red Sox 462, and that is 6. And the Bo Sox will beat the Yanks. Indians and the White Sox. Indians 1431, 5 runs. White Sox 1324, 4 runs. It's a win for the Tribe. Oakland at Kansas City. Athletics 1332, and that's 5. Royals 1055, that's 7. And they'll get that win. Minnesota at Seattle. Twins 433, 3 runs. Mariners 1521 and 4 runs. A win for the M's. Tampa Bay at Texas. Devil Rays 1155, 7 runs. Rangers 1366, that's 12 runs. And they will get the win. Detroit at Toronto. We'll have these two tomorrow night. So Chuck Rawlings, your Tigers get their rings tomorrow night. Tigers 835, and that's 4. Blue Jays 1261, and that's 8. And the Jays will beat the Cats. Pirates and the Braves. Pirates 1022, 3 runs. Braves 946, 6 runs. A win for the Bravos. Reds and the Rockies. Reds 1945, and that is 8. Rockies 1451, that is 7. And that game belongs to the Reds. The Reds get a sweep. Cubs and the Marlins. Cubs 515 and 1 run. Marlins 1036, 5 runs. A win for the Fish. Astros and the Dodgers. Astros 1733, and that is 6. Dodgers 411, 0. A win for the Stros. Phillies and the Expos. Phillies 1336, and that is 6. Expos 1724, and that's 5. A win for the Phils. Brewers and the Mets. Can my Mets get a win? Brewers 722, and that's 2. Mets 1945, and that is 8. My Mets get a happy recap. Cardinals and the Padres. Cardinals 1054, that is 7. Padres 511, 0. That's a win for the Redbirds. Diamondbacks and the Giants. Diamondbacks 1313, that's 2. Giants 934, and that's 4. And that will be a win for the Giants. That is your 10-minute ticker. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. Tomorrow will be at the Sky Dome. For tomorrow night, it'll be May 19th, as the Detroit Tigers will get their rings for the 1983 season. They are taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Brian Moeller will be going for the Tigers, and David Wells will be going for the Blue Jays. So I know Chuck Rawlings will miss it as the Tigers get their rings 16 years later, as they will face the Jays, Detroit, and Toronto. Our first look at the Tigers. Be there or be square. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave a like on your way out the turnstiles. Subscribe if you've not done so, and make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. As the late, great Bob Murphy used to say, we have a happy recap. The Mets beat the Phillies tonight, 7-2. See you guys tomorrow night.